WBAL. My next guest says, you know why there's violence in the city? It's because of drugs, and the war on drugs has failed. It says violence is the currency and an underground economic system that we as a society have created. It has nothing to do with poverty, race, social status, or the availability of guns. His name is Joseph Scalia. He's an attorney here in Baltimore, a native of Baltimore, and also heads up the great Baltimore bounceback.org. Good to have you on. So I read your op-ed in the Sun, and I have to say, it's not new to say that the war on drugs has failed, but you say this is everything to do with violence in the city. Why doesn't poverty, race, or education, or social status, or guns have any impact on the violence that we're seeing?
Look, what I've said has been said before, but the only difference is this gives it an economic approach or an economic analysis. People stand around and scratch their head as to, why this stuff happens as though it happens randomly. It doesn't have to happen randomly. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I've practiced for 20 years. It's about the money. It's always about the money. And our country's been through this. People think this is new. Go in the 20s. In the 20s, I posted something on my Facebook page in 1929. People forgot the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Mm-hmm. People were lined up against the wall and shot with machine guns. And people used to steal steal police cars, bribe police. All of this is fueled by money, which is economics. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people and our politicians, they ignore economics. They think, I'm going to pass a law and it's going to be a rainbow. Magic unicorns are going to dance and fly. Passing laws does not change the economic fundamentals. And in this particular case, it's actually fueling the economic fundamentals. In my article, I said it. If you're a kid and there's 19,000 heroin addicts in Baltimore, and you got 1% of that market, that's $9,500 a day.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, though, Joseph. I understand what you're saying. I'm with you on this. But if you legalize drugs, right, what happens? Does that eliminate the problem?
Look, study some history. Drugs were legal in this country from the time of the founding fathers up until about the 1900s. So drugs have been legal in this country longer than they've been illegal. And since they've been made illegal, our American cities, it's not just the Baltimore problem, which is how you know it's national. It's Baltimore and Philly and Chicago. Every major city is going through this. And another a point which I forgot to make is this. When 19,000 heroin addicts are looking for a fix, they're breaking $700 car windows to steal a $100 item that they sell for $20. And what does that do? That turns these cities into basically low-level crime wave.
All right, but the rule of markets go, if you get rid of that market for drug dealers and they can't make money off of it because it's legal, won't they find some other markets to use in order?
People don't wake up one day and say, gee, I want to become a criminal or a drug dealer. People say, hey, man, I made $900 in cash last night.
Well, how are they going to make $900 in cash if they're not dealing drugs?
Well, look, people find other things to do. When the wagon wheel industry went broke, people found other things to do. When the sailing business went broke, people found other things to do.
Yeah, and if they're willing to do it and break the law now, why wouldn't they be willing to do it and break the law in another way?
Well, they'd have to find something else which was just as profitable, which I don't know what there would be. I mean, we are shipping billions of dollars. We're creating narco states all around us, Mexico and South America, Colombia. The number one economy is selling drugs to the United States.
That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. It's just a question of what happens when you legalize it, and I guess we'll never know until we fully legalize it.
Two prongs. First of all, look, if you and I were at a party, I wouldn't say to you, hey, look, man, heroin dropped from $50 to $10. Let's go do stuff. I mean, there's not a elasticity of demand like gasoline. Gasoline drops 3 pennies. People drive a half a mile. Heroin isn't like that. Heroin, as people are using it, they're addicted to it. And another thing is a lot of these people who are addicted now became addicted from prescription medication.
Yeah, well, that's true for time. All right, listen, we're out of time. I really appreciate it. It's a fascinating article. I'll put a link to it on our website. Good to have you on. Yes, the great Baltimore bounceback.org is his organization as well. Thank you, Joseph Scalia, here on WBAL.